We made it back home, but I know last week I left you guys in South Lake Tahoe, and I will cover that week of travel between there and home in a future video. But I wanted a quick video to put up, and something I also thought you'd find interesting, and we'll get back to the travel video maybe next week. We'll see how much time I have. It's been really hectic since we got back. I have two things for you today. The first is the grill. We got a new grill on the van. And then the second part of this video will be about registering the car, because a lot of you have commented about the South Dakota license plate and why and all of that. And I will go into a little more detail about why we had to do it that way. And we've actually already re-registered the car in California. And then one kind of bonus thing is John put together the playlist of all the music that you guys had recommended. I really appreciate you guys doing that. And him putting together the playlist, because it was, I don't know, 60, 70 songs, something like that. And it'll be in the link. It's an Apple playlist. So if you don't have Apple Music or whatever it's called, I'm sorry. But for those of you who do, it might be something nice that you listen to on your travels. We are on our way to our first upgrade of the van, and that's a Raptor, what's it called, John?
Grill.
Raptor Grill. And the people that are doing it are their company's called Gone Mobile Vans. They're only 15 miles from our house, not even that, maybe 10 miles, in the next town over. And this guy also does custom vans, and I'll hopefully get him to come on camera and tell me a little bit about his business. And then after that, we're going to go around the corner to the Department of Motor Vehicles and try to get the car registered. Get down there. Actually, there he is.
That's it, yeah.
There's Brandon, right? That's his name?
Yeah. There you go.
Much better.
Yes. It makes a huge difference on the look of the van, just like instantly.
Yeah. Well, somebody has to prove it before we do.
Exactly. As quick as it goes with this kind of a...
Well, you have a chance that I can ask you a few questions?
I'd love to.
Okay,
Sure,
great.
no problem.
They look so stupid with that.
It does. I know. It is so funny because there's hardly any chrome on the van at all, and then you have this big old chrome bumper or grill, and it just doesn't look right at all.
It actually does it.
Nice.
And it's so nicely insulated.
Yep.
It easily goes to zero.
I like it. That's really nice. Which I enjoy watching. You have got the off-foot you have your floor too, and everything.
But I wanted to ask you about your business and how many vans you do.
Yeah,
and
right on.
This kind of style, because when you watch one of your videos, you don't know what.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. So I started in 2018. I built a van for the family, essentially. And then as I started posting things on social media, people said, oh, hey, could you put a window in for me or a fan in for me? And it just kind of happened organically. I had 4 or 5 vans out front of the house. My wife said, it's time to get a shop.
That kind of sounds like George.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it happened like totally organically. I was in the fireworks business for 30 years. So I was, every kind of Super Bowl, Olympics, sporting events, rock and roll concerts, things like that. Your traditional 4th of July show. Did that for 30 plus years. And I was just kind of ready for a change. So I started this business while letting go of a lot of my work and maintaining a few of my big customers like the LA Rams and Universal Studios and the Music Center in LA. But then, so that was fine for a little while, and then I was already in the shop, and then COVID kind of shut the fireworks entertainment industry down, and it just happened to be a good time for me in this business, and it just kind of grew from there. Just myself for a long time, and then I had another friend that I used to work with for a long time that would come in and help do some fabrication for me, and then slowly kept hiring guys, and so right now I have 4 employees. My brother works with me. He commutes, so he's picking up some parts. He'll be here probably around 11 or so. And then I have 3 other guys. And I also have Effie up front who helps with communications and things like that. But
how many vans do you do a year?
So typically around 20 a year. However, this year we'll be probably 30 or 31.
Well, you guys do a lot of prefab, right?
Well, so we've partnered with a couple of companies that do make our cabinets for us. So I don't have to be the expert on the cabinet maker anymore. We used to build custom cabinets, all those things, but it ends up taking a lot longer than planned. The custom fabrication was killing us, actually. I mean, it was one thing. Instead of a 3-month project, it turned into a 6-month project because something changed, and it was really kind of difficult. So we had a goal a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, to try to streamline a little bit and look at some of the other markets. The bigger makers of the Revel or Storyteller, they offered a model, and so we were looking at it a little bit along those lines. We still offer way more customization than either of those two do, but we focused on aluminum cabinetry, so it's lightweight and it's robust and it's going to hold up a long time. They're experts in sheet metal fabrication, and I can ask them for subtle changes. We've co-developed a lot of our products with them, which has been super helpful for both us and them in the long run, because then they can sell those off to other builders or DIY folks. So yeah, it looks like we're just assembling things, but there's still an awful lot of work that goes into it. So
I can tell right here.
Yeah, exactly. So we got guys putting our interior support
kit. So are
these
reinforcements for the roof? Is that what you do?
Yes. So it'll be overhead supports for the ceiling and overhead supports for the cabinets that are going in right now. So these are all sheet metal powder coated. It ends up being great for all of the supports in there. Make sure our ceiling is nice and straight and true. So yeah, but
Wow.
I know. We got a lot of things going on around here all the time. Unfortunately, a crane is not one that we're normally used to.
Now you do a lot of Fords too.
We do primarily Ford Transits. We do.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, that was my first van. I built a Transit, and so I just kind of.
You like them?
Yeah, I do. I like them. I like that they're taller inside than the Mercedes Sprinter. So I'm a tall guy. I can't stand up straight that way. And I like the powertrain. And as a business, not many people build on the Ford Transit. So people that are looking for that end up finding us. And so it's turned out to be a good business decision as well.
Do people bring their own van to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the past, we've done a couple times where we've provided the van, but primarily clients bring us their van. I have several different dealers that we work with, have relationships with, that I can put people in touch with to help source a van. And then, they bring us their van.
I have another question too, because we're going to leave here and go over to the DMV to re-register.
Yes,
Do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, so the DMV right over here on 19th Street, if you go through the inspection line first, because they'll come out and take a look at it and verify that, that is now a camper van. They'll fill out the form for you, and then then you'll have to go park and then go inside and take care of it from there.
Inspection first, and then you go inside.
Yeah. Okay. And so because it's been, these are commercial vehicles originally, but because it's now, you can be classified as a camper van or RV, it should help with your insurance costs and your re-registration.
Yeah.
I have to take that van as well. And
is that the one we saw in your video last night?
No, different one. We haven't shown this one yet. This is our new demo van, and we have yet to film a video tour of that one, but pretty excited about it though. And then the front has got the lower adjustable control arms from Van Compass and their new springs, and because the trail package and the Q-Lift already had spacers on top of the struts, but it was around $9 on top of that, so expensive. But
is all to wood?
It's all aluminum, so it's super lightweight. It's gonna hold up a long time as well.
You weighed it yet?
I weighed it originally, and then I'm gonna go and take it and weigh it again here shortly. So when I first got it, hardly had anything done on it, and I got it weighed because I needed to get it registered, and they required a weight certificate for that. But I'm going to go back and compare the two. But when I've done it on my past van, but we put in about 1,700 pounds, and that was with a full water tank, full gas tank. Since then, I added a few other things, backdoor stuff, a couple of other items. So we'd probably be closer to 2,000 pounds on that build.
It takes 33, I think.
Right, yeah. So we're
DMV doesn't require a weight thing, do they?
not when it's been built out.
Okay.
If it was an empty commercial van,
Okay, then they would.
Then they do.
Okay. So let me ask you one last
Sure,
question.
no problem.
If somebody is interested in a van from you,
Yes.
what do they do?
Primarily, folks reach out to us. I try to set up a call with them so we can have an introductory call, talk about their requirements and how we do things. From that point on, I'll either help them get in touch with one of the dealerships that we work with to help them source a van if they don't have one already. And then we'll work together we'll give them an initial starting estimate that's based on a couple of our layouts, one like this or one that video that we put out yesterday, a different layout. And then just kind of work back and forth to try to meet their requirements and meet how we like to do things as well. And
then what's the wait time?
so typically we're about 2 months out from starting new projects. So we're able to build 4 or 5 vans at a time. We just delivered 2 vans earlier this week. So the parking lot looks a little bit empty, but I've got 1 van around the corner at the new dealership and 3 more coming in the next 3 weeks or so. So we build about 4 at a time. And so our typical build time then is about 8 to 10 weeks, excuse me.
And everyth's aluminum though? And
Yeah,
all the cabinets are
cabinetry
aluminum.
is all aluminum. Typically the only wood is on the bamboo door fronts of the cabinets. The wall panels and the ceiling panels are also 1/4 inch Baltic birch, but then they're wrapped in the fabric and our foam ceiling material. But otherwise, yeah, we're not building any wood cabinetry any longer. It's just one of those things where weight is a big factor for us, and just longevity. We think that the aluminum cabinets are going to hold up longer than wood cabinetry over the long run. But people have different styles, different approaches, different requirements, and some builders meet those requirements, some builders don't. So it's we try to find the right fit for everybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks so
you're
much
welcome.
for showing us all this great stuff.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No.
I think they're writing down the engine number. We've just finished the inspection at the DMV. The guy just looked in the window. It's just such a nothing burger. So you get it inspected first, and then John is now inside. He's doing the hard part, which is just waiting at the DMV. And I'm going to sit here and watch some sewing videos.
80 minutes later.
Okay, all in all, the trip to the DMV wasn't all that painful. It was just time consuming. And it was $669 to change it from South Dakota to California.
What was the registration in South Dakota?
$178.
What would this have been? Okay, now to cover the registration part, and I've written it all down in my little mini iPad because it's kind of a long list. We bought the vehicle in North Carolina. It was shipped to New Jersey. And the only way to register it in California was to actually ship it back to California and then ship it back to New Jersey. And obviously we weren't going to do that. So then your options are very limited. There are only a couple of states that will allow you to register a vehicle in their state without seeing the vehicle. And one of those is South Dakota. And so we actually hired a company called Dirt Legal. They're down in Florida, and they kind of take care of all the paperwork. They get, power of attorney to sign the documents and stuff like that. And so they registered it in South Dakota, in actually Pennington County, which is where Wall Drug is. And the sales tax, here's the bonus though, the sales tax in South Dakota is only average of 4.2%. California's average is about 8.8%, so double. So the sales tax we paid on the chassis we bought was half of what we would pay here at home. And because the van was out of state for probably 18 months or more, we were able then to register it as a used car and not have to pay sales tax on it. Now that law was actually changed when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor, because before that it was 30 days it had to be out of state, and he changed it to 1 year. And so that saved us there. We paid $600 to Dirt Legal to take care of all the documents. And it was easier because there were no finance companies involved, and that makes the process a bit easier. When you bring the vehicle back into California, you have 20 days to re-register it, and we easily did it within the 20-day period. I think we did it within a week. One of the things you want to remember to do, though, is to change your transponders. You know, if you have transponders for your highways, then, so we changed the one that we had for the East Coast and then also the one in California. And you want to make sure you do that so you don't get any, you know, weird fines or anything like that. So that's been taken care of. And then the final thing that we're working on, and we don't have any details for you yet, is making sure that we are insured for the value of the RV rather than the cargo van. And John is working through that right now, and we will let you know how that works out. I don't know if there'll be any glitches. Let's hope not. So that's all I have for you this week, and it's just super, super busy trying to get the van all fitted out again. I had forgotten how much we had done on the old van before it really was kind of up to speed and ready to go off on our first adventure. And I don't know what that will be or where it will be, but I do know that somebody here locally is trying to put up a meetup for us. It's going to be in early November. So if you're in Orange County, don't come from a long way away. It's not worth it. We're probably just going to meet down at Bolsa Chica and say hi and maybe have some snacks or whatever. And I will let you know when that is for those of you who are locally based. Thanks for watching.